The last kind of concentration you have to be able to calculate is called parts per million. Parts per million, ppm, is grams of solute over grams of solution, but this time we're going to multiply it by 1,000,000. Parts per million is a unit of concentration used for extremely dilute solutions. Usually they use that in drinking water supplies to show the concentration of hazardous chemicals that get in there. So let's do our first problem. If I have 0.0015 grams of salt in 2,500 grams of solution, what is that concentration in parts per million? Parts per million is equal to grams of solute, which in this case is 0.0015 grams of salt, and grams of solution, 2,500 grams. And this time we're going to multiply it by 1,000,000. Okay, so taking my calculator and doing the calculations with you guys, 0.0015 divided by 2,500, and then we're going to multiply it by 1,000,000. Okay, in this case we have a 0.6 part per million salt solution. Let's do the second kind of problem. If I have 35,000 grams of a 210 ppm salt solution, how many grams of salt in there? Now, to solve any problem in chemistry, we're going to write down the given. We have 35,000 grams of a 210 ppm salt solution. So we have 35,000 grams of solution, and now we're going to put in our conversion factor, which allows us to change it to grams of salt. What does 210 ppms mean? It means I have 210 grams of salt in 1,000,000 grams of solution. Grams of solution cancels out. Let's do our calculation. 35,000 times 210 divided by 1,000,000. And we get 7.35 grams of salt. In other words, if I have 35,000 grams of solution, I'm only going to have 7.35 grams of salt in there. That's pretty dilute, isn't it? Let's do the last kind of problem. If I have 10 grams of salt in a 210 ppm salt solution, well, how many grams of solution are needed to contain the 10 grams of salt? Here's my given. I have 10 grams of salt, and salt's going to have to go on the bottom, isn't it? So it cancels out. It is a 210 parts per million salt solution. What does that mean? It means I have 210 grams of salt in 1,000,000 solution. Grams of salt cancels out. Now let's calculate. 10 times 1,000,000 divided by 210. And it means we need 47,619 grams of solution in order to contain 10 grams of salt. These are the three kind of problems you need to know how to calculate when it comes to parts per million.